Welcome back, Farmdale. It's Mrs. Pearson. The Farmdale faculty, staff, and I are so excited to be back in the building, and we are ready to welcome you on Tuesday, August 25th, the first day of our new school year. We will see some of you in person, and other students who chose virtual online learning will see you through Google Meet. Regardless of the learning option choice, it will be great for us to be back together again. We really missed you. You're going to see many new faces at Farmdale this year. We have about 60 kindergartners and 30 students in grades 1 through 6 that are new to our building. In addition, we have many new faculty and staff members for you to get to know. I appreciate your help in you welcoming these people to our Farmdale family. There are many things I want to share with our students and their families about the start of the school year and our school reopening plan. But first, you may be wondering, what am I supposed to bring the first day of school? Well, 5 things. First of all, each student should bring a container filled with water, clearly marked with their first and their last name. We will not be using the water fountains like we've done in the past. Instead, the water fountains will be used to fill our water bottles when they are empty. You should take your water bottle home each night to wash and then fill it up and bring it back to school to drink throughout the day. Second, each student and staff member is required to wear a mask when they're on the bus or at school. So you want to make sure you wear a face covering and also bring an extra one along just in case. Let me show you some of mine. I have a plain mask. I also have a mask that goes along with the beach theme because I love the beach. I love the Eagles. And finally, I have something different. This is also a face covering, but it's called a shield. So regardless of whether you have a mask or a shield, that will cover the requirement to have a face covering while you're on the bus and at school. Remember, bring an extra one along just in case. The third thing I want you to bring is a backpack. That will help you take your supplies back and forth between home and school each day. You will take your iPad home each night, charge it, and bring it back. If you do not have a backpack, we have many new ones here that you can choose from. See Mrs. DeArmond, Mrs. Bear, or myself, and you can pick one out the first day of school. The fourth thing you want to bring, speaking of iPads, is your iPad. Those of you who had one at home over the summer, we want you to bring it on the first day. If you don't have an iPad, you will get it during the first week of school and hopefully the first day. The last thing I want you to bring is probably the most important one, and that's you and your smiling face. We're looking forward to having a wonderful, rewarding, fun school year with you. So bring those smiles on Tuesday, August 25th. The arrival process will look very similar as done in the past. Our buses will continue to use the same bus loop. The difference is that only one bus will unload at a time. Students will exit the bus from the front to the back and walk safely along the sidewalk. As you will see, we have blue tape marked on the sidewalk. This tape is for us to maintain social distancing, enough space between each student as they are walking to the main entrance to enter the building. You will go directly to your classroom unless you are going to breakfast. More on breakfast later. At arrival time, car riders will also use the same loop as used in the past, the one furthest from Prospect Road. You will enter the upper entrance and proceed around the loop. The difference is we are going to have cars pull up along the empty part of the parking lot that you can see that lines the curb along the soccer field. At 8:40, students will be permitted to exit their cars and walk safely along the sidewalk into the main entrance of the building. The difference is they will be using the entrance closest to the office. Farmdale has many walkers and bike riders. Those walkers and bike riders will come to the main entrance from the walker path, and they will stand on the grass area There will be spots marked for you, and wait patiently until 8:40 when you are permitted to enter the doors closest to the office. Our bike riders will notice that the bike rack is located close to the playground. That is where you will put your bike. Remember, if you are a bike rider, you must wear a helmet. Do you eat breakfast in the morning? As you arrive, whether you are a walker, biker, car rider, or bus rider, you will enter through the main lobby, and instead of hanging your book bag on the hook, you will walk down the hallway towards the 3rd and 2nd grade wing, and you will walk in the music wing into the cafeteria, where there will be adults directing you to go through the line to get your breakfast and be seated. The one change is you will come in the main entrance and walk down this hallway, down the music wing, and then you will go into the cafeteria from there with your book bag. You will not hang anything on hooks. You will take your book bag with you. When you return to Farmdale, you will see many of the wonderful teachers that you've had in the past. However, some of our rooms might look a little bit different. Do you see what's different in Mr. Zadilla's art room? There are fewer students seated at each table, providing you with a safe space to do your artwork. Our library and music room are set up in a similar fashion, allowing each of you to have your own safe space. Here is an example of a classroom that is ready for the first day of school. Desks have been separated at least 3 feet apart, facing forward, ready for instruction, ready for learning. You will see many signs and arrows throughout the building. This sign shows that we are using the center staircase to go upstairs only. In the past, we have also used this stairwell to come downstairs. This year, the center stairwell will only be used to go upstairs to the 2nd floor. You will use the outside stairwells to come down to the 1st floor. The only exception to that is at dismissal time. We'll go over this more in detail when you arrive at school. There will be markings on the floor. The floor, you will see there are arrows, and the arrows are showing the direction in which you should walk and the side of the hallway that you should be on. Just as when we drive, we are on the right-hand side of the road, we are also going to be on the right-hand side of the hallway, keeping our hands down and walking in a safe distance from those in front and back of us. If a student needs to visit the nurse's office during the day, they will enter through the main office door. The only difference is that instead of going right into the health room, they will walk into a waiting area, and that is where Mrs. Rodema or Miss Treadway, our nurses, will greet them to do an initial assessment and determine what part of the health room the student will need to move towards. If a parent has questions for the nurse, we ask that you first reach out to them by phone. If you need to come to the school, they will greet you in the vestibule area and have a private conversation about whatever matter is concerning you, or if you have medication to drop off. Now I'm in the cafeteria and it looks pretty familiar, doesn't it? There are some changes, and let me review them quickly with you. The adult that's bringing you to the cafeteria during your lunchtime will line your class up based on what you are eating for lunch. Packers will be first, entree 1 next, and entree 2 will be last. The adult will bring you into the cafeteria and show you where you will be seated. Our packers will be seated close to the entrance to the cafeteria, followed by our entree 1 and 2. At each of the lunch tables, you will see that some of the seats are marked with orange rectangles. Those are the seats that you will have a chance to sit at when you're eating lunch. If you're not sitting at a cafeteria table, you'll see that we've also expanded our cafeteria into half of the gym. In order for us to accommodate 6-foot distancing between everybody, we needed to use half of the gym as well. So the dividing wall has been removed and physical education classes will be on the other side of the curtain. You'll see a lot of arrows on the floor. The adult that's supervising you at lunch and recess will direct you if you are purchasing lunch and let you know when to go through the lunch line and where to be seated. After lunch, we will bring trash cans to you to throw things away, and then as soon as your class is finished, you'll be lining up and exiting to go outside on nice weather days to recess. We will be sanitizing tables thoroughly between lunch periods in order to ensure the safety of our students. When taking classroom bathroom breaks, we're going to ask that only 4 students go into the bathrooms at a time. This will allow for safe distancing between each person, and we'll need to wait our turn patiently. And when you need to use the restroom from your classroom, besides classroom breaks, we're asking each teacher to send 1 student at a time. Students who are arriving late or parents who are here to pick up their children early will still use the main lobby entrance. You will still need to ring the bell, and our secretaries will greet you and give you directions as to how to enter the building and where to wait. We appreciate your patience and understanding in trying to limit the number of visitors that we have in our building throughout the day. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. This is our brand new sensory path. We put this in the kindergarten first grade common area, and it is a great area for classes to take a break, walk around, practice their letters, their numbers, the planets. It's pretty colorful and cool, isn't it? Thank you, Mrs. Bear and Mrs. DeArmond, for applying for a Henfield Foundation grant, and to the custodial team, Mrs. Bear and myself, who installed it this summer. I can't wait for you to check it out. There are a few changes to our dismissal procedures that I'd like to quickly review. We will go over all of these during the first week of school. All students will continue to use the center stairwell at dismissal time to exit the second floor to the first floor. All students will remain in their classrooms instead of coming to the gym. We will listen to the announcements carefully to know when it is your turn for dismissal. If you are a walker, you will exit through the first grade doors. Our car riders will continue to move to the kindergarten area, listening carefully to the walkie-talkie for their name and to know which cone to stand behind to enter their car. Bus riders will listen to the announcements to know when it's time to come to the lobby. The lobby is our staging area for our bus riders. We have put lines on the floor in the lobby that are symbolic of the seats on a school bus. Right now I'm walking down the center aisle of the school bus. Students will know which seat they sit in. They will find that row, their seat number, and they will go and stand on the line. When the bus has been staged, the people in charge will dismiss rows at a time to quickly exit the building safely so we can load our buses from back to front. It will be very important that all students listen carefully because we will be loading one bus at a time, staging another bus, and the third bus will be on deck standing in their classrooms ready to come down for dismissal. We appreciate all of your cooperation and again, your careful listening. At dismissal time, we will board one bus at a time, another bus will be in our lobby staging area, and the other students will be on deck lined up in their classroom ready to be dismissed to the lobby. Our car riders will be lined up in waves to accommodate the number of car riders we anticipate during this year. To help get as many cars off of Prospect Road and into our parking lot, we will be extending the car rider loop into the far parking lot you see. No cars will be parked there, and students will be walking along the sidewalk up to the cones to greet their parents and get in the car. We will have additional staff members outside to help with the safety and management of our students. Our walkers will be exiting the first grade exit instead of coming out of the main lobby entrance, again to promote social distancing. Thank you very much for your patience and cooperation as we work through some changes in our dismissal procedures.